but we will run a campaign that my family will be proud of, our campaign team will be proud of, our partners, our supporters, and the men and women of this great district will be proud of the integrity of this campaign. And you know what I will tell you on the night of that election night? I believe that my faith and that of this campaign rest in the hands of the God who made me. And I'm okay with that. I'm great with that. That He controls my destiny. He's the one that made me. He's the one that gave me my right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, not federal government. And I'm fighting for those deeply held beliefs. Susan and I had some serious discussions. We realized that we had had enough. And we realized that the future for our daughters was in question. The very basic tenets of freedom and liberty were being unraveled. And that hard work and honest dealings, which has always been a formula of success all the way back to the colonies, that was being undermined. And it still is being undermined today. So, based upon the fact that we had had enough, we said we were going to do something about it.
I know I speak for Chairman Pete Sessions, the chairman of the National Republican Congressional Committee, when I tell you, from the NRCC standpoint, we are all in to win this seat back. In addition to a rather sizable investment the NRCC will be making to support you, I want to give you a small contribution from my leadership PAC, which I think will help, and there will be others coming. We know we have the candidates, we know we have the atmospherics. Now we're down to where we figured we would be, which is behind the Democrats in money, but with the opportunity and the wave coming to convince those that have it to give up a little bit more of it so we can win these races and not leave anybody on the field. And that's why I'm going all over the country, as is the rest of the Republican leadership team. Combined, we're in 79 races in this month alone around the country. But the unions have decided to step in. And this last week, the AFL-CIO and the SEIU announced they're going to put $88 billion into the campaign to try and keep Nancy Pelosi and Harry Reid in power. We don't have that kind of money. In fact, the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee has 1.6 times as much money as we have at the NRCC. We know that's a handicap, but here's the good news. We got the American people on our side. Going into the 2006 election, when people said, you know, you Republicans kind of lost your way, we had $40 million more to spend than Democrats. And you know what? We got our lunch handed to us. Because when that hurricane is hitting, when that tidal wave is coming up on the shore, you may have more money, but you're not going to change the minds of the American voters once they're made up. And with all due respect to my friend and colleague who represents this district today, you can't vote for all this stuff and claim you're a blue dog. Now, Ralph Hall from Texas, former Democrat turned Republican, he was there when Lyndon Johnson was around. He said, Greg, you know what a blue dog is, don't you? I said, well, no, Ralph. Ralph's 80 plus years old, great guy on the House Energy and Commerce Committee. He said, well, a blue dog is a yellow dog Democrat that holds its breath until it turns blue. Then it rolls over when Nancy calls. I'm telling you, you can't vote 95% of the time with Nancy Pelosi and come home and say you're a conservative. It just doesn't work that way.